That is insanely high, and we're looking at like triple the legal limit because you're responsible for a classroom full of kids, you're responsible for yourself, you're responsible for the safety of other drivers on the road. This is a crisis right here. That event, you keep thinking you have a choice, I can stop whenever I want, I'm in control of this, until suddenly you're out of choices. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Isaiah. I'm a licensed professional counselor. I work as a therapist in Virginia, and today we are checking out a video that my wife actually recommended to me that I review and see what's going on here. So the setup, I think, is that there's an elementary school teacher who is being arrested for being drunk while at the school. And this hits a lot of buttons for parents sending their kids back to school, for teachers going back to school, and substance abuse within the school and how that's handled between mental health, law enforcement. So let's dive in, see what's going on with this video. All right, let's see what's going on here.
Okay, I want to visit with you. All right. So, just observing you in classroom, it looks like something's off a little bit, and so I've asked
Okay, so this is
Dean to come in here.
This is body cam footage. It looks like the principal is saying to the teacher that they noticed something was off in the classroom.
You know, do you have a prescription for anything that maybe you have taken today that?
Hey, that's a good start with the way that the principal is doing kind of a gentle confrontation, saying like, hey, there's some medications that you're taking, because jumping to alcohol use might be a bit of a stretch right at the beginning, but being able to say like, is there some medication that you're taking? Maybe something's changed that could be contributing to someone acting like they're off.
I did take some medication last night to help me with sleep because I have some anxiety stuff.
Okay, so she mentions some problems with sleep, so she might have taken something to help her sleep, and she has anxiety. So we're looking at some of the mental health pieces now. All right, my cat wants to get up here. All right, you want to watch some TV too? Come on. All right. This is Kitty. This is his introduction to the channel, and he's going to watch with us today.
Would you be willing to take a breathalyzer test?
If I needed to, yeah.
Okay, so they're skipping straight to the breathalyzer. That makes me wonder if there's something that may have happened before, or if there's a history of this teacher having some trouble with alcohol that makes them jump to the assumption of doing a breathalyzer right away.
All right.
All right, so you're gonna blow into it like you're blowing up a balloon, okay? And you're gonna keep blowing until I tell you to stop. Until I tell you to stop, okay?
All right.
All right, give it a second.
Okay, so we got the breathalyzer going now.
I don't know how to do this.
You're just gonna blow into it like you're blowing up a balloon as soon as I tell you to. All right, ready? Take a big deep breath. Blow, 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 blow. All right, stop. Good job.
All right, let's see what the answer is.
You gonna tell me the truth? How much you had to drink?
I drank last night.
There's no way you drank last night.
Well, I did drink last night.
What is that? Is that a 2-4?
I didn't drink at school.
That wouldn't blow that right there.
You blew 2 times the legal limit.
I did.
Yeah.
Hold on. If I saw a 248 there, I think is what it was. The legal limit to drive is 0.08, and that's percentage of alcohol in the blood. If we're looking at like, I don't know if that was a 24.8% or something, that is insanely high, and we're looking at like triple the legal limit.
This thing's pretty accurate.
No, I know it is.
So-
I know it is.
You blew like a 0.24.
I don't know what that means.
Legal limit's 0.08.
Yeah, like I said, that is an insanely high amount.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yes, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Honestly, for a lot of people probably around like her body size, I don't know how well they'd be functioning at a 0.24 blood alcohol content. So the fact that I don't know how long she's been at school at this point, whether it's the end of the day or not, but to be going through the school day with that much alcohol in your system, and presumably that she drove there are a lot of risks there for how inebriated she was. And if I were seeing this person and they told me that they were walking around talking, holding conversations at a 0.248, I'd be concerned that there's a real tolerance risk there, which is an addiction when your body becomes so adapted to a drug that you need more and more of it to feel the same effects, which at the same time that you can start functioning more and more while on higher doses of the drug. And that can be dangerous because the dangerous effects of the drugs are still there. But now you're putting more because you subjectively feel less of an impact from those drugs. So you're putting more of those drugs into your system, adding to your risk of bodily harm and harm to other people without recognizing that you're putting yourself at such a risk.
I don't know what that means. What's
Legal limits. Well, I mean, right.
okay?
Do you drink often?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd have to be able to function with a 0.24.
I think she's probably a functioning alcoholic.
I'm seeing a counselor about it.
Okay, and here's where we get some of the mental health tie-in, okay? She's saying she's seeing a counselor. What for? Is it for the anxiety that she mentioned earlier? Is it for the problems with sleep? Is it something else that may be related to her drinking? Or is it particularly for the drinking? So just saying that you have a counselor doesn't get you out of consequences. If anything, if I were her counselor and I heard about this, I'd be very concerned and say, we need to be focusing on this because you're responsible for a classroom full of kids, you're responsible for yourself, you're responsible for the safety of other drivers on the road. This is a crisis right here.
Your expert opinion, she's under the influence.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, she is. I don't know why you're hedging your bets. She definitely is, even though she looks like she might be able to hold a conversation. Functioning alcoholic here is questionable because she is not functioning in this moment. While she's able to hold a conversation, she was obviously able to get to school. The fact that they could notice that something was off, that she's drunk at work, that is not functioning.
Would she blow that
she could and be normal and like be
and not drink today?
Well, no, because
Yeah, that's not
she's
possible.
had to drink sometime today.
Yeah.
Like even it was 3 a.m.
Do you want to blow one more time on a
No,
different
I
straw
don't have
to see if it changes?
Double or nothing.
I want y'all to tell me what I have to do.
I just want you to be honest.
That's actually a big thing, especially within the AA model of things. Deception is one of the biggest obstacles against sobriety. And so when the officer, I think it was saying, I just want you to be honest, that's for real. If she can be honest with herself, if she can be honest with her family and with the principal and the officer that she's talking to, that is what lays the groundwork for her to be able to confront that she might have an issue and start being able to do something about it. So that's actually super insightful, even though it's kind of a throwaway comment.
I live in Stillwater.
Do you have anybody that's there that could come pick you up?
My husband's he's still at school working.
Can I check your eyes?
Do it?
Can I check your eyes?
Yeah.
Can I stand up? Stand with your feet by your side, hands down to your feet, side to side.
So we're doing the field sobriety test, it looks like.
Just follow the tip of my pen. Your eyes are eyes only. Do you understand? You drank recently. Yeah, she's intoxicated.
I see.
Okay, so I'm not familiar with that field sobriety test where you're following with the pen. Probably if you're in law enforcement, you're very well aware of what that was. So comment below and let me know what was going on there that let him know that she was definitely inebriated.
Do you know your husband's number if I call him?
I don't want you to call him.
Well, I can't let you leave. If you leave, you're going to get arrested.
Yeah, I'm gonna arrest you for DUI.
That's a clue to something there. That she's in this desperate situation where it looks like she might be at risk of being arrested, losing her job or something, and she does not want them to call her husband because the principal was just saying, if you walk out of here without someone picking you up, you're getting arrested. And for being arrested to be the better alternative to having her husband know and come pick her up, there's something going on there.
Am I gonna get fired?
Honestly, yes. Or you can resign. You're under the influence at school with kids. That cannot happen.
That's the reality of the situation. And again, that goes back to that honesty being super important when it comes to making change in sobriety. As long as she or any other person who's addicted to substance or has a problem with substance use can tell themselves, I'm okay, it's not that bad, I'm able to function, they can continue going about with their habits as if nothing is wrong until it gets to a point where they cannot be dishonest with themselves anymore, and it looks like she's reached that point.
it not just be that it's in my blood system, and that's why it's...
Unless you were drank a shit ton
Well,
at like 8 o'clock this morning. I don't know how you could still be that high.
The guy has a point. And the reason he can say that so confidently is because alcohol leaves our system at a predetermined rate. And I did internships and stuff with substance use clinics and stuff like that. So I don't remember the numbers right off the bat, but you can count by how much alcohol you've consumed and go by a certain amount of time. This is how much alcohol will be left in my system. And so for her to have sometime in the middle of the school day a 0.24, that means she would have had to drink an insane amount the night before for her blood alcohol content to still be this high. And so that also dispels one of the myths. There's nothing that gets you sober faster. Alcohol leaves your body at the rate that it leaves your body.
What do you drink?
Wine.
So how many bottles of wine did you drink?
Yeah, it'd have to be
we had the
measured
box.
in bottles at that point.
Did you drink a whole box of wine?
Half a box. That it was okay this morning. I would think that it would be...
Which makes me think that you drank recently.
Must have been.
I would think...
I'm not trying to be a jerk, but we can't.
No, I know.
We don't have all day for you to make a decision.
No,
Who can
I'm
come
not.
with you?
I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just.
One of the things that could be going on right now, especially if she's dealing with anxiety, is that a lot of times people with anxiety might struggle from choice paralysis. It can be something as benign as which brand of peanut butter to buy at the store, or something like this between like a bad choice and another bad choice, either being picked up by her husband or getting arrested. And all that pressure of time and potential consequences is making her freeze up in that fight, flight, or freeze response so that she actually cannot make a decision.
Okay, you got 1 minute. Tell me a number we're gonna call, or
That's not going to help things, putting a time limit on it.
everybody.
No,
So if you'll let us call somebody, we'll wait. They can come, wait outside. Everybody's gone. We'll tell them to be here at 4:30, and you'll be able to leave the building without anybody seeing. But if we don't have time to sit here and keep doing this.
No, I understand. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be. I don't mean to be like that. I'm sorry.
You can even notice this in the way she's stuttering. Between how she started the conversation, she was able to put entire sentences together, and now she's just stuttering her words. Part of the fight, flight, and freeze reaction is also that the regions of our brain that are responsible for reason, for language, are not getting the same kind of resources as the basic functions that are being prioritized at the moment, because our body thinks we're getting ready to fight or run or something for our survival and our safety.
Then you're going to meet me tomorrow at my office, and we'll discuss your appointment.
What time tomorrow?
9 a.m.
He's thinking, why does that even matter?
So what happens then, Mr. Ogle?
Well, my recommendation to the board is going to be to terminate you because you're under the influence. Or you can resign.
This is something that on the teacher side of things, I'm not familiar with this part, but I wonder if there's like a teachers union that she might be able to appeal a decision like that, because this seems like this kind of decision making is being made unilaterally and she doesn't have any representation present.
I want to work here. I want to work here.
Yeah. So tomorrow at 9 o'clock, now let's call somebody and have them pick you up.
No, I can't call my husband.
Okay, that is something that I feel like they're not keying in on, and they should. And maybe that's a longer term thing. There's something about calling the husband that is setting her off. It's been made clear to her that she's losing her job regardless. And again, whether that can be appealed or not, that's not my concern. But there's something that caused her entire demeanor to shift when they started saying, okay, you have to call your husband to come pick you up.
Would you rather call your husband to come pick you up, or would you rather call your husband to come get you from jail?
Well, actually, neither.
Well,
I mean,
you're running out of time.
okay, I'll call somebody.
Her anxiety is leading her to break down. She was already in a fragile state from the alcohol, from the pressure being put on her. But as they continue to grill her, and I'm not saying they don't have a right to, that's part of their job. They're trying to figure out what's going on. But I do feel like there might have been a better way to handle this. And this is where maybe a therapist or maybe a school counselor even come in, be empathetic, be able to listen, because these guys are doing their jobs and I don't blame them for it. They're trying to get answers and she is not in a place to be giving answers right now. Unless she's able to first de-escalate and then be able to talk through when she's in a better place, in a better state of mind. Okay, so what do I want to do now?
What is in that?
My juice.
Gonna try again. That there is wine.
So it looks like they gathered her stuff and they found an open cup with wine in it. And that is not looking good for her case of saying that she drank on the way to school.
Please, I'll call somebody. I have somebody right here in town that'll
Nope.
come get me.
Too late.
Please.
Looks like they're arresting her now.
Please, just let me. Can we?
Hey, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You had your chance to be honest.
Well,
and
I did. Please let me.
no,
let me call.
no, it is over. No more. No more. I'm done.
Officer, please.
No.
I've never done anything bad in my whole life.
What is your date of birth?
Oh man, this is really sad to watch. I'm not saying this is anyone's fault in particular, but that it's just escalated to a point where she doesn't have any choices. And I've seen this happen to too many people who abuse drugs. That event, you keep thinking you have a choice, I can stop whenever I want, I'm in control of this, until suddenly you're out of choices. And that hits you like a brick wall. And it's just sad to see her coming up on that right now. Because she's seeing what the real costs of her continued use of wine, alcohol, whatever form of alcohol is now. Her sense of herself, even as she's saying like, I've never done anything wrong, like her self-image is breaking down in front of her. Looks like the hallways are pretty empty. Hopefully she's able to leave the building without too many people seeing.
We're not gonna go in front of
She's
the
right, she
kids,
doesn't want
are we?
people to see
At
her
this
like
point,
that.
it doesn't really matter.
Well, it does matter. It does matter.
Why does it matter?
You didn't care when you came to school drunk or drank at school.
I see where the officer's sentiment is coming from. Like, you didn't care enough to not bring alcohol to school, so you shouldn't care if, you know, we gotta walk you out in handcuffs. My only problem with that is that addiction impairs our reason, and people make all sorts of ethical compromises when they're struggling with addiction. And so to say she doesn't care, in one sense, yes, she didn't care enough, but also in another sense, the alcohol had impaired her judgment so much. Even if she were sober at one point, she's not reasoning properly to be able to make a good judgment about that anyway. So like I said, really rough to watch. And it's so sad to see where addiction really breaks somebody down and just leaves them with no options. I do feel bad for the teacher. I don't know whether she was getting the help that she needed with her substance use. And she's in a tough situation. Even to disclose that she was having trouble struggling with alcohol addiction may have put her job in jeopardy even if she hadn't brought anything to school. So even having an open conversation with her administration beforehand may not have been the best option regardless for her. And so it's really hard for her to be struggling alone with that. Factor that in with whatever anxiety issues may have been pre-existing and whatever her relationship with her husband might have looked like. That's a lot wrapped up in one body cam video to be kind of judging a person on. So I hope that she gets the help that she needs, however that situation turned out. I think what I really want to take away from this is that addiction is insidious and it causes us to make little compromises here and there, whether it's video gaming addiction, gambling addiction, substance use addiction, any other kinds of addiction, things that we use to escape from reality for a little bit of time. We make little compromises here and there until suddenly we run out of options. And that's the wall that she ran straight into here. And so I'll link some resources down below if you're struggling or feel like you might be compromising some of the values that you hold. Like, this teacher obviously cared about being a teacher, but she was willing to compromise that bit by bit because of the hold that alcohol had over her. So, longer video today. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please like and subscribe. That helps us to grow this channel and continue creating content for you all. Thanks for checking it out. See you all next time.